19. Sheathed in that red brick. At the top, you're going to find some terracotta ornamentations of wheat. Looking at the building completely, it looks asymmetrical because they knocked out one of the west side bays here to make room for the expansion of the LaSalle Street Bridge. Originally, it was a warehouse, now home to 2 restaurants, condominium office space, Whirlpool, and Encyclopedia Britannica. And I'm telling you right now, if we have any engineers aboard, next building is an engineering masterpiece. 300 North LaSalle by Picard Chilton in 2009, a LEED certified building. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Building holds a platinum rating. That is the highest award that the building can achieve, like winning an Academy Award for a building. And it also has a green roof, which mitigates rainfall, has plants, trees, vegetations. Chicago has more green buildings than any other city in the United States. But the coolest fact about the building is that it has 0 cooling towers. It uses river water to cool it. You cannot miss the massive structure after the bridge. This is our merchandise mart, completed in 1931 by Grant Anderson Post & White. Designed in the Art Deco style of architecture. Art Deco buildings have the geometrical ornamentations, vertical lines working the eyes up and set back to the top. This was the largest concrete structure in the world when it opened. Today it's only second to what building? The Pentagon is correct, sir. Oh, you're good at useless information. The building sits on 5 city blocks. It is 4.25 million square feet of space. Up into the year 1996, the building had its own zip code, 60654. And by the way, it sold to the Kennedys in 1945 for about $13 million in back taxes. In 98, the Kennedys sold that building for $575 million. Ladies and gentlemen, you are very hard to impress. Like giving a tour to my parents. Kept the land to our right. This is Wolf Point. Finished developing it about a year and a half ago. Wolf Point East and West residential. East, the taller of the two at 700 feet. Directly in the center, we got Salesforce. Only commercial of the 3, topped out at 850 feet. And also, this is where we get our name, Chicago. Locals, they were in the tavern and they raised the tinker. What are we going to call this place? Came up with the name Chicago based off the words they heard the natives using. Chicago. Not knowing that it translated into wild, smelly onions. Welcome to the Big Onion. As we make our turn into the North Branch, just a heads up, gonna be the only portion of the tour where we're gonna ping pong from the left side to the right side of the boat. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, I don't work a lot of evenings. Turn around. That is absolutely beautiful tonight. Get that photo down the main branch of the river.
I think this is the
Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? All right. I'm just checking in, making sure you're still with me. Chicago, are you still with me?
Yes.
You sure? Yes. How deep is the river? 22 feet. What's the name Chicago mean?
Smelly onions.
Wow, smelly onions. Okay, you're still with me. Just making sure. To our left, white building. This is Residence Have Ever Been by James DeStefano in 2001. Putting every apartment in town on the east side because he wanted everyone here to have an unobstructed view down the main branch. And by the way, when the building first opened, parking spots were going for about $65,000. But they don't park their own cars. The ramps are too narrow. They have to drop their keys off to a valet who parks the car for them. Red brick building, it's the Fulton House by Frank D. Abbott in 1908. It was an old cold storage warehouse utilized for milk, butter, and eggs. Renovated by Harry Reese in the 1980s. Needing to allow the building to be thawed for about 18 months. But right now, I need you to look alongside the building. Notice the starfish? Look towards the top. You'll find the porthole windows. Harry Reese loved the nautical theme, loved to sail. Also evident in the pair of my favorite buildings here, the River Cottages by Harry Reese in 1988. Notice the use of the triangles, the porthole windows, how these units sort of resemble a sailboat. Home to 2 4-story and 2 6-story units, which all come with their own private marinas. And get this, Up until about 5 years ago, they were all owned by their original owners. I believe that the one unit sold for about $2.3 million. 2 years ago, I'm giving a tour, had the original owners on my boat, said that they were forced to sell because the unit caught on fire. To our right, upscale fitness facility known as the East Bank Club, like Ezra Gordon and Levitt in 1979. Everything that we are seeing here today would not be here in 79. Not the trees, not the ivies, not the seawalls, not even the windows alongside the building. Because the river was so dirty, we turned our backs on it. No one wanted to live alongside the river. To our left, you'll find the complete opposite. A beautiful promenade, home to a gorgeous community here in the city of Chicago, known as Kinsey Park. Completed by George Papa George and Hayes back in 2002. Home to 70 townhomes, all designed to look like European row houses. The most interesting fact about Kinsey Park is that before ground was even broken, all of these townhomes sold for $1.2 million. All coming with their own rooftop terrace, a balcony, a patio, and a beautiful promenade that we're seeing. It's a gated community. Throughout the day, it's open to the public. Just gotta check in with the gatekeeper. And I mentioned, before their completion, they all sold for about $1.2 million. Some today are reselling about $7 to $14 million. Gotta get in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna clear the bridge and stay off into the right side of the boat for the rest of the North Branch, finding another red brick building. This is known as the Riverbank Lords. By Nimitz and Fellow in 1909, it's a great example of adaptive reuse. Adaptive reuse is when you take a building that had a previous use and give it another use. It used to be a printing warehouse, now home to what are known as soft lots, which have an open floor plan. You have an enclosed bathroom, some exposed brickwork, ductwork, drywall, vents, 12-foot ceilings, things like that. You have the loft here on the first 2 floors. You may have up to 5 fireplaces. Well, we're going to clear this Ohio Street Bridge, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to mention it. Just keep those cameras out. This is one of the best times to take this architecture tour. But we're going to clear the bridge and notice a couple of buildings coming in the view to our right-hand side that appear to be very similar. Right now, we're getting a glimpse of Erie. After the red brick building, we'll find Kingsbury on the park by Lucien Lagrange in 2002 in the European industrial style of architecture, allowing for the buildings to have exposed steel, making them look structurally unfinished. But we're going to drop back down to eye level. You're going to find Montgomery Park. Something you're going to notice about Chicago throughout your visit. We love our green spaces. Every 5 or 6 blocks, you may notice a different park. Most of the downtown area, all accompanied by a dog park. I'm telling you right now, you're new to a city, you want to meet people, get a dog. Go to the park at 7 in the morning, you'll meet a bunch of people. How do I know? I just adopted an English bulldog, met 50 people last week. Don't miss that building out there in the distance with the blue glass and the concrete corners. This is known as the Montgomery, former office building for Montgomery Ward. Anyone on the boat here tonight remember Montgomery Ward? Now, for all of the children on the boat here who do not remember Montgomery Ward, he was a major catalog baron in the 19th century. Essentially, he was Amazon before Amazon. He just got everything you wanted out of these thick catalog books. But get this, kid, you had to do something extremely terrifying. You had to get on the phone and talk to a live human being. And win that it's an Mr. Ward because he saved Chicago's front yard. Today, it's Grant Park. He's why we have over 26 miles of uninterrupted lakefront access. And the building was completed in 71 by Minoru Yamasaki, same architect who designed the World Trade Centers in New York City. Interesting fact, they had 0 corner offices, but neither does the Montgomery. Because when Montgomery Ward was alive, he believed that none of his workers should think that one is better than the next. So honor him, and built that building, 0 corner offices. 4 concrete corners that we saw were all the foundations for that building. You got the white building, black balconies. That's One River Place by William McCauley in 1930. Another great example of adaptive reuse. A key indicator that lets you know a building's a great example of adaptive reuse. The balconies. You can tell that these balconies were not originally alongside the building. The original office building for Montgomery Ward was converted to condominiums. But look past the bridge. You'll find another massive building. This was known as the Domain by Smith, Gordon, and Martin in 1908, the original warehouse in Montgomery Ward. About 1.25 million square feet of space, heavily influenced by the Prairie style of architecture, which uses the horizontal lines. And the building was renovated by Papa George and Haynes. When he went to renovate the building, found over 250 pairs of roller skates in the basement. Why? It's because Montgomery Ward wanted his workers filling out orders quickly and efficiently. So we had them roller skating up and down the corridors filling out orders. Sounds fun for about 2 weeks. That third week, putting in my 2 weeks notice. But we're gonna clear the bridge, and I gotta direct your attention off into our left-hand side. Nothing. 12 months ago, on my last day for the season, there was a building here, stretching this entire distance, and I'm telling you right now, you come back to the city in a few years, you will not recognize it. All of this space, all of this construction is gonna be home to Bally's Casino. Once we make our way out to see our skyline, you're gonna notice we have a few cranes up, about 30 skyscrapers under construction right now. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, within this last month, we held our first Chicago River swim within the last 100 years. Yeah, we made huge strides with the Chicago River. It used to be really dirty. Today, it's just really dirty. We're gonna complete our spin, start to head south and see so much of what we've already talked about. Now's a great time for you to head downstairs, take a break, warm up. We're just gonna go over Chicago's history. Don't worry, you head downstairs, you cannot escape my voice. I can be heard everyone on the boat here tonight, even in the bathrooms. That's creepy. Now, we're just gonna go over Chicago's history till we made our way back to the main brand.